Hello, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, and you know I love helping women align with their life purpose so that they confidently and courageously live the amazing lives they know they deserve. It's all about living in alignment with your divine feminine nature. It's all about the goddess centered lifestyle. And so, what I want to talk to you about is just a few things to note about the month of May. Excuse me, June 2021. Maybe I want to go back to May. May was a little more simple. June is a little more complex. So, one of the things that's so important to know and understand about the goddess centered lifestyle is that it's so important to keep up with the energy because why? We are energy. We are energetic beings. And so, there's so much energy that is happening that we cannot see, but we are feeling every piece of it because we're what? Energy. And so, keeping up with the wisdom, however that looks for you, is so important because essentially what ends up happening is when we begin to latch on to wisdom, it becomes a guiding light. We see opportunity where maybe we wouldn't see it if we didn't know to be looking for whatever is going on for us right now. Or maybe we're in the midst of a challenge and we just think, life is unfair. This is happening to me because, it's not fair. Or maybe I feel like I'm a bad person and here's just another bad thing that's happening. However, when we know perhaps that this might be a little bit of a rough spot, then we can embrace it. We can look at this time and say, you know what? Let me see what meaning can I make of this? What lessons are there in this for me? And so this is one of the reasons I love astrology. It is ancient. It is a science that has been used, for many, many years. And it does such a great job of helping us to be able to anticipate what is coming. Even though we can't always know the details, we can at least have an overview of what is to happen. And so this is one of the reasons I love using astrology. Now, also embrace the cycles. Say, for instance, this month, we're going into the solstice. We're going to have the summer solstice here in the north, and the winter. No, is it winter down there for it? And I think so in Australia. But we're having the solstice. And so that marks a shift. We're moving into a new season, and it's just gives us an idea of what we should be working on. However, one of the things that I do want to just emphasize to you all, sisters, is that now that I know astrology, it helps me to help you all better pinpoint, is summer really summer for you? Because summer is not summer for everybody. For some people, the summertime is literally a time where they feel like they just want to lay low. They don't have a lot of energy. Some people come alive when it's the coldest time of the year. That is their power time. And so it's important for you to understand that piece for yourself. But still, summer is at least in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the overarching theme for us right now. And it's the opposite for those in the Southern Hemisphere, because I actually do have some people from Australia who watch my videos. And so it's about honoring the energy that we're in the midst of at that time, just keeping up with our cycles that way. So we are today at the recording of this video is June 6th. I have been so busy talking about the eclipses and just really some other topics that I think are important that I haven't exactly gone over the wisdom with you all this month. But definitely the eclipses are to be respected. And I'm going to come on and talk about a topic that I think is important for us as it relates to the Sagittarius eclipse. The Sagittarius eclipse is really giving me a lot to think about. And, at the beginning of this month, this is how we've started it. We're in this energy of Sagittarius, release and let go, looking at what do we believe, what is our life philosophy, our paradigm, looking at, am I expanding, or why am I not growing and evolving the way that I want to? But it's given. One of my astrology teachers was talking about it, and she mentioned how this is a time where a lot of people are questioning their faith, their what they have believed to be true. And so this is something that I want to go into depth in another video. And I'm really seeking to build a case for why the goddess centered lifestyle, and it's not as taught by Tyra, but it's me showing you what that entails, is what is best, at least for women in this modern day time who have the choice, versus something that's way more prescriptive. But I'll save that for another video. But just the beginning of this month, I hope that y'all have been looking to understand, like, really, what is it that I need to release, to let go of? What is it that I need to do to get clear on what direction am I going in my life? Um, and, it's so interesting that maybe a week or two ago, I got very clear with myself on a limiting belief that I have, which tell me, have you gotten in touch with any of your limiting beliefs? I would be curious to know, have you gotten in touch with any of your limiting beliefs during this time? And you know how there are these scenes that play from our childhood, where there's one that I remember, a horrible interaction from my dad to my mom when I was 3 years old. And I remember asking myself, like, why do I remember this? This is one of the very few memories I have from that age. And it's a horrible memory, but it's burned. Like, I can call this memory up like this. And I said, something's unresolved about it. And I finally got in touch with this notion of, I'm confused. I'm not certain. I'm not sure. And this is that time period for all of us. And I'm like, wow, it's amazing that this is coming up. I was listening to a coach talk about how, when we leave ourselves in indecision and confusion, it's very disempowering. And it puts us in a place where we stay stuck. We don't move. And because I'm looking at this for myself, I'm thinking to myself, like, you know what? I think it's a protective measure. Stay confused. And I didn't have to confront what I was seeing in my childhood, the things that disturbed me in my childhood. I'm confused. And therefore I don't have to confront them. And so how many of us are feeling that way? Actually, it's a part of this time, feeling confused. But the blessing of confusion is, now it's like, okay, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm confused. So let me begin to look at what's going on so that I can see clarity. That's how I see this time. It is a time for us to get clear, but it will be in the midst of some fogginess. But if we could but trust the great divine, if we could but trust our infinite nature, the infinite wisdom within us, that wisdom that runs your body, all your organs and your muscles, just keeps you in equilibrium. Even when we do all kinds of things to abuse our body will self-correct. That wisdom that does that, that is what you can consult as you seek clarity about what is the next step that I need to take. And so I encourage you to use this time to get clear about, allow yourself to sit in the confusion with a purpose of getting clarity, okay? Because when we're in confusion, we get to ask a lot of questions. We want to ask a lot of questions. We want to begin to deconstruct anything. And the question is this the truth? See, when Sagittarius is on the horizon, we can think about the goddess Ma'at. Ma'at says live truth. And one of the things that I would encourage you to do is understand the laws of the universe. When you begin to live according to the laws of the universe, it's cut and dry. It's cut and dry. Live according to these ways of being, understanding the world with this paradigm, and it creates um it's a science. It's a science of living, and it just hasn't been taught. We are living it moment by moment. But once we consciously step into understanding this, then we can begin to um, put everything up against it and say, well, is this really true? What's the ultimate truth? And then if I'm saying to myself, well, I can't have this, I can't have money, I can't have relationships. Why do things never work out for me? Okay, let me stack this against truth. Is this really true? And and the other part is, we know none of it is true. I mean, if you're looking at this, you know something in you is saying there's more out there. I may not be able to identify it, but I know there's more out there. And so I just say to you, yeah, we have to look at our stuff. We have to unpack stuff. Just like I'm telling y'all, I'm 51. I'm still remembering something from when I was 3. Let me just keep going back to it and asking questions of it, getting more and more clarity on it so that I can move forward and begin to live according to a higher level of truth. I am confused is not working for me. What's a block for me getting towards where I want to go? I'm confused. I'm not sure what I should do next. I don't know. I wonder if. I say this all the time. And so now looking at it as, maybe this is a protective measure. I have been able to dismantle the power that it has in my life, and I'm able to move forward. This is what the first part of this month is about. What is one thing? Like, don't try to overhaul your whole life. um, that's not all the time necessary. It's sometimes just about, there's one domino limiting belief, one domino way of being, that if you were to get to the root of that, knock that domino down, dismantle it, even if you just loosen it up, it's still here, but it doesn't have as tight of a rein on you as it used to. That's a win. This is what this first part of the month has been about. And so, these are the things that you can continue to work on until we get to this eclipse in Gemini. Now I'll need to come back. I did not look at this eclipse. As a matter of fact, let me see. I'm too nervous to pull up a chart. Sometimes I'll see if I can pull up a chart. But this eclipse in Gemini, I think, and I've been saying this about all of the new moons. But let me explain to y'all. These moons that we've been experiencing ever since 2020 have been so important, because 2020 created such a massive reset and shift for the entire world. Nobody was untouched. Even if the richest people in the world had money, they still had to reckon with this virus. No, this virus did not discriminate against who it affected, whether the person got it, contracted the virus or not. It didn't discriminate. Everybody got affected in some kind of way. That's how huge 2020 was. And so every moon that we've had, why are moons important? Well, moons, this is how we can plant seeds and of intention and get them to grow, working with the energy, going back to what I talked about in the beginning. We are energy. And so it's so important for us. And I'm just moving this so I can look this up. I know what I need to do. Just look at Planet Watcher. Planet Watcher. I actually don't like this website because this person sometimes seems to be, how do I want to say it? I don't always care for this person's sharings. I'll say it that way. I don't vibe with some of these emails. I had to get off his list. But planetwatcher.com is a good place for people who, want to look at a chart on the fly. Go to Planet Watcher. So, y'all know I like telling y'all what I'm doing so that you'll know what to do. But anywho, this moon, working with these moons in um, since 2021, especially starting with Aries. Yeah, even the Pisces one. All of them, all of them, all of them have been so important because y'all, we get to reset our lives. We get to start on a new cycle. There were so many cycles that ended last year. And so we have some that are like new 30-year cycles, new 19-year cycles, 40 something year cycles, like major new cycles that have begun. And so, um, yeah, it's so important to work with these. But why is Gemini like the creme de la creme new moon thus far this year? It's because it's an eclipse. It's an eclipse moon. Eclipses bring sweeping change. They bring about fated events. They can quicken. And so I relate this to the goddess Oya. When we're working with this energy of Oya and just this divine feminine energy, they can do what is called quicken. They can quicken things for us. And so I know for a fact quickening happens with eclipses. You can fast track yourself. The key is be aware and don't resist whatever it's calling you to do, because let me tell you this chart that you have for your life, and I don't care if you've seen your chart or not, it does not matter. Just know this, dear sisters, the chart of your life is one that you put in place, and you knew you needed these eclipses right now to fill in the blank. What change do you need to make? What push do you need to take you into a new direction? That's what these eclipses are for. They can quicken the process. Um, so that's a very big event for this month. Now, looking at this new moon in Gemini, it's going to be, of course, the North Node is there because for those who know astrology, the North Node and the South Node is what makes the eclipse an eclipse. That the eclipse being a part of a new moon or a full moon. So it's going to be, of course, the sun and the moon and Venus is there. And Saturn is also a part of this new moon. And so, first and foremost, a new moon is always about new beginnings. But when it's with that, when it's an eclipse new moon, it's a new moon that is supercharged. It makes us voracious. It makes the energy just that much stronger to push us. It's like a big gust of wind comes behind us and says, "Go here, do this, do that." Okay. And so, yeah, that's something that's interesting is we have this supercharged moon. And then we have Mercury, which is going to be retrograde at this time. And so this is a new moon that when we think about Gemini, Gemini is about communication and business. It's about connectivity. Um, it is, to me, a very smart energy. It's about information and the media, and it's about um, working with the hands and learning new skills. See, for me, this is the best thing you could do for this moon. It's just because this is what I get from Geminian energy is learn a skill. Learn a skill. Um, and it doesn't really matter because it all depends on what house is this in for you. But you want to learn a new skill that will help you in that area of life. And so, for instance, um, let's say that it's Taurus. Maybe Tauruses are wanting to learn some new skills regarding money because it's happening in the area of life for Tauruses that has to do with money. So maybe Tauruses want to learn something new about money. It also could be Scorpios. And maybe these two signs would want to learn something new about self care. Like, what's some new skills that you can put in your hip pocket, some tools. That's how I see Geminian energy. It's about tools. What tools do you have regarding money and regarding self care? And so I guess I'll just kind of tell y'all really quickly what other things I see for the other signs. And I have to do it in duos, okay? Otherwise, it's just like a whole bunch of repetition to a certain degree. And it's sort of like similar themes for signs that are 180 degrees from each other. So, for instance, for Aries and Libra, it could be y'all just straight up are learning something new. It's like you're just learning some new skills, something new. And it could be for the career, but it also could be you're learning new skills to take care of your mindset. You're learning new tools or skills or learning something new that you can implement hands on that has to do with spirituality and your belief system. Maybe you're learning new tools for travel. Like, okay, how do I best make arrangements to go travel here or travel there? Maybe you want to start helping people travel and you learn skills to do that. Um, let's see here. I did Aries and I did Libra, and then I've already done Taurus and Scorpio as my example. Now for Geminis and Sagittarius, these eclipses have been no joke for y'all. big changes, big changes on the horizon for these two signs. And I just feel like there's a reset that's happening. Like y'all may be learning some new stuff, but for the most part, Geminians and whatever I'm talking about is sun, moon, or ascendant. Whatever, if you know all three signs, listen for all three signs. If you just know your sun sign, that's fine. If you don't know your time of birth, then listen for your Venus, because that's a planet that's important for women. Listen for your sun and your Venus if you don't know your time of birth. Whatever the sign is on those planets. And so for sun, moon, or ascendant, it doesn't matter. I'm just noticing everybody who's Gemini or Sag, reset. It's not, the Sages might feel like they're having it the hardest, but it's a very significant shift in your life. Overall, new beginnings for the Geminis and the Sagittarius. And even the Pisces and the Virgos may be feeling like my life is really changing quite a bit. I'm making big changes in my life, or I'm feeling a big shift in my life. Because for the Pisces and the Virgos, this is about home and family. But maybe you're learning new skills it's about career, home, and family for the Pisces and the Virgos. And so maybe y'all are learning new skills to help you with your career, or learning new skills to help you maybe be more organized around the house, especially Pisces. um, Maybe it's helping you to get some new skills for like stress management, or healing your emotions. Okay, you may be learning something new in those areas. So I've done I skipped Cancer and Capricorn. Now these are two signs that may be feeling like y'all are having it a little bit rough too, because this is not happening in fun places for y'all. It's the suffer or serve axis that this is happening for you all on. But you may be learning new skills that help you with work-life balance, new skills that help you to maybe there's some new rituals that you want to do, or there's something new that you want to do in terms of art. Maybe there's something new in terms of you want to learn something new for work, or you're like, you know what? I want to try using this particular calendar for keeping myself. I didn't even realize how big of a industry calendars are, but apparently calendars are a big industry. So maybe the Cancerians and the Capricorns are like, hey, I want to, implement this new system. Maybe y'all are going to start teaching, helping people become more organized. But as of yet, when I see it in this 12th and 6th house, I'm telling y'all, these eclipses don't look fun for y'all. I have yet to see, when people have eclipses in the 12th and 6th house, that everyone's just like, oh yeah, everything's good. We're good. No. Okay, let's see here for Leo and Aquarius. I like where these eclipses are happening for you all. I really do, because it's houses that have to do with being gameful or being uniquely yourself. And maybe you're going to start using social media or learning some new skills that better help you to get in front of people, to stand out. Um, Maybe you're going to start extracting like the best of your skills and apply them to help you achieve your goals, or extracting the best of what you are so good at naturally and helping other people to do the same. But definitely for the Leos and the Aquariuses, this is an important time for you. Oh, another thing is these houses oftentimes have to do with, like, for Leos, you may just be like, you know what, I want more romance, and you're looking at blocks to romance. And Aquariuses though are feeling like, I need to get out and see more people and socialize with more people. No, that would be Leo. Leo is looking at getting out and socializing with more people. So it would just be the exact opposite. Maybe some of the Aquariuses are sort of like, hey, I think I want to, start dating more. So yeah, and you might be looking at, I want to close out what I've been working on. And so, this is something that you've been striving for, a goal, a long-term goal. And you're like, I want to close this out. I want to end this part. And so that's something that may be coming up. But I like where they are for the Leos and the Aquariuses. And I encourage you to take advantage of this time, because, yeah, the eclipses, once they move, let's see here, Leo comes, yeah. I just encourage you to go on ahead and embrace this time. Okay, so let's see here. I've already talked about Virgo and Pisces. So yeah, I didn't go fully in order, but y'all get the gist of it. But yeah, overall, y'all, this is an opportunity to reset our belief system, to reset our minds, to begin to protect our minds. And I'm telling y'all, we need to do this. We need to protect our minds by doing our mindfulness, our meditations, cutting cords. Like, it's all kinds of things we need to be doing to bring more calmness to our minds. I'm convinced that there is a lot that is happening. There's a lot that's happening that is making us short circuit. Mm, um, you see me being cautious with my words, but I'll just tell you what I'm thinking. I remember hearing, and some of y'all have heard me say this before, but I remember hearing one of my teachers talk about, there are these energies that their job in the universe is to create a challenging, situation for us by, to a large extent, short circuiting our will to move forward. And one of the ways they're doing this is, it's creating an inability for us to have a long attention span. Now, Gemini, you can expect that the attention span is not all the time long when this energy is heightened. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason that Gemini moves quickly. There are times when we need our mind to move quickly and to just make that decision, just like I talked about, coming out of that cloud of confusion. But if we begin to, and I remember hearing another teacher talk about, what kind of waves are we listening or are we experiencing in our lives? Are we experiencing short, erratic mental wave energies, or just energies in general? Or are we able to ride these long waves out that create miracles? And I know for a fact that it's time for a reset. It's time for us to begin to say, you know what? Where's my book? I'm picking up a book and I'm turning off all the, social media, and I'm forcing myself to read a book, or I'm forcing myself to learn something. I will not look at anything. I will not look at news. I will not get on the phone. I will not listen to anything that is very distracting until I finish this particular lesson for today. And bringing back this ability to have this long, sustained way of being able to think, it opens us up to this higher wisdom, and it brings so much more healing and peace to us. And so I see that as something that is very important for us to be establishing with this new moon in this new moon eclipse in uh, Gemini. But make no mistake about it, the more you consciously work with this, the more you're setting yourself up for success, as we are now in an air age. You know, some people will argue that we're not in the age of Aquarius yet, but baby, let me tell you something. We have essentially lived online. We've essentially had an online lifestyle for the last year. Nobody can tell me Aquarius is not here. We may not be fully in Aquarius, because I know there's a transitional period, and all of this hyper religion. I was shocked when I found out it's from Pisces. It's from Pisces, being in the age of Pisces. You would think one love, but it got out of balance. And so, we're still in the midst of it. And so it's important for us to begin to move in, this new direction where things will feel way less spiritual, way less religious. And we're moving more into the mind and information and technology. And I encourage you, don't be left behind. Okay, first of all, I'm telling you, this is what's on the horizon. Those of us who know astrology, those of us who know how to read oracles, we are telling you where we are. I'm going to give y'all an example. And some of y'all are watching this. You're part of my spiritual family. So I know, I sent out, along with some other people in 2020, I sent out my part of the reading for our community. And I told them, the Institute needs to make sure that it has a plan for being online. This was before, because I've prepared this December 2019. But because I can read the oracles, I was like, the Institute needs to figure out how it's going to switch to being online and moving forward with this information age. And look at what happened last year. Everybody was online. We had our Great Mother celebration for the Institute online. My godmother was like, we gotta figure out how to make this happen, So y'all, don't be left behind. Read the signs. What skill can you learn that will help to take you into this new age? Find this new career. Find this new. Gemini is one of the signs, and Mercury is one of the signs that has to do with self-made wealth. Because once a person learns a skill, you can't take that skill from that person. That person can take that skill anywhere and make that skill work. Okay? So sit down, look at your skill set. What can you use? What do you need to learn? And how can you implement this, right? But I also say you need to work on your mind. You need to come up with a game plan for how you're going to cultivate your mind. It's so important. The last thing that I'm going to talk about, well, I might talk about that Capricorn full moon, but the last thing that I'm going to talk about is one of the main aspect for 2021. So what I've told everybody is that 2020 was a beast. That was like, wow, that was serious. But the ladies in my inner circle, I told them, I said, y'all, look, don't sleep. Don't come into 2021 thinking we made it, which we did. We do want to come into 2021 saying we made it out of 2020, but don't come in here thinking that this is going to be a piece of cake. Okay. Now, some people have had it worse than others, for sure. Some people are thriving in 2021, but a lot of people, there's unfinished business. There's shifts that are being made. And it's like, I just got to do this. I just got to make this change, whether I want to or not. Like, I've been avoiding it and didn't do it. And so now here I am. Like, I got to do this. The example that I've been given for everybody is I knew for back in 2018, I think it was, I knew in 2018, dancing is going to start ending for me. This dance and fitness that I'm doing, it's going to change. In particular with the nonprofit where I work. I said, this is where it's going to be the biggest change. When 2020 hit, I told them I'm not teaching nothing. Now, I've recorded some classes online or whatever, but I spent all of 2020 getting them to realize I'm done. If you want me to stick around, find me a social media job, social media manager. I can make you some graphics. Oh, I can teach mindfulness. But I knew things were going to change. And they needed to change long before 2020. I was miserable teaching. Even though when I was in the midst of teaching, it was fun. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like, who doesn't love dance, right? But I knew my body is breaking down. I knew the change needed to happen. And so yeah, 2021 has just been me like redefining myself and saying, okay, what skills do I need to learn to make sure I come on and start sharing my spiritual teachings and helping women begin to embrace the divine feminine way of living, and just completely and totally shifting myself in the direction of goddess, body, mind, spirit. This is what I've been doing. So has it been easy? No, it's still not easy. Okay. It's still not easy. I'm still figuring it out, picking up skills, learning what it is I need to know. But 2021 is like a pressure cooker. And so this month we get the second dose of the pressure cooker. Go back to February, around the 17th, I think it was. Maybe all of February, part of March. You can think about, what were you working on? What was being effective for you? And that will give you an idea of what's coming back for integration. Okay, what's coming back for integration? And this has to do with for those who know astrology. If you don't know astrology, just go back and just replay what's been happening. But for those who know, it's what's happening between your Aquarius and your Taurus houses. Okay. And the overarching theme that I'm just giving everybody is change gonna come, but it's through a step-by-step method. The eclipses bring sweeping change, and this meeting between these two planets, Uranus and Saturn, they bring, you must follow the steps, but you're going to change. But you got to follow the steps. So it doesn't feel like sweeping change. It just feels like pressure to change. This is how I've been describing it to everybody. And it's also the old bucking up against the new. So you may feel yourself like, I'm stepping into becoming somebody new. And so I'm bucking up against anybody that's trying to keep me back where I used to be, or I'm bucking up against people who are telling me I should not make these changes. These are the kinds of things that you could be experiencing. You feel something old being released or transformed. You feel yourself stepping into something new, but it's like you can't run into this thing. You've got to do it step by step by step. And so 2022 should be better, if I remember correctly. But if I could tell y'all the importance of, I can't even overstate it, the importance of this meeting between Saturn and Uranus. It just makes me almost like feel like I want to faint. This is the 14th of June, but it doesn't matter what day it's on. It's happening all year. That's the thing about this type of transit, and astrology is very long. It's happening all year. I would say be disciplined and just go for the change that you're supposed to make. The more you have discipline and you just keep moving, just keep telling yourself, I'm moving forward, I'm moving forward. And I just got to keep going. I know I will get there one day, but I'm going to keep going. That's the best way to operate. So, how do you bring more discipline into your life? That might be something to think about. The full moon in Capricorn is going to be on June 24th. So let's just look at that here on Dear Planet Watcher. Let's see here. I like the moon in Capricorn because we had so much going on in Capricorn in 2020, 2019, and even 2018. Seems like I remember eclipses happening on that Cancer Capricorn axis in 2017. 2017 was a bear. Oh my God. 2017 was woo. Woo, my goodness. But I know for a fact 2018, 2019, 2020, there was a lot going on in Capricorn. So I'm so interested to see what this full moon in Capricorn will bring. For us, it's the first one that we have where it's just a normal full moon. It's just a normal full moon. And so, but I wonder if we're going, because the full moon is about seeing the culmination of something. So I wonder if we're going to see the culmination of something that we've been working on in terms of that Capricorn energy, which Capricorn has to do with success. It is an energy that has to do with discipline and being patient, and taking a tried and true method. But of course, it depends on like what house this is in for you. And maybe when we get closer to that time, I'll go over or put out. I create these cheat sheets for my inner circle members to use, so that they can understand what area of life is this happening for them in. And so maybe I'll put that cheat sheet out for the Capricorn. Like if it's in Capricorn and you are a Sagittarius, what area of life is this happening? Where could you potentially see the culmination of energy? I'll do my best to remember to put that out. But yeah, so it's going to be a full moon in Capricorn. And Venus is going to be in, no, that's not Venus. Hold on, is this right? Hold on one second. I wish I could pause this and blow this up, because I'm like, there's no way that's Venus. Oh, that's Pluto. Sorry. No, that's not Pluto. Sorry, y'all. That's Pluto. Sorry. It's so tiny. I was like, is that Venus? It can't be Venus. And just because I know where Venus is, I'm like, no, here's Venus down here. But Venus is still going to be in Capricorn. I always love when Venus, even though she's not a part, like she's not super close to this moon, but she's still in Cancer. So her energy is being lended to that sign, which I see that as a manifesting sign. Now, there could be some power and control issues that come up at that full moon just because Venus is opposition Pluto. But let me tell y'all something. The good news is that it could also bring something up so that we can move into a better place with money at that time. And let me see here. What else? And yeah, this moon doesn't have a lot. Oh, Jupiter is a part of this. So I wonder if this could be a moon that is sort of giving to us, because Jupiter is in Pisces. And so that is going to be sending supportive energy to this moon. So I'm feeling sort of excited and happy about that full moon. I will say that that week is a week that is very jam-packed with a lot going on. So we deserve a good full moon. Let me see here. And yeah, I think that this moon is going to be one where we can reap quite a bit of richness from, quite a bit of goodness from. I do think that it will help us to perhaps, maybe we're down the path and working on achieving something. And so maybe we haven't fully achieved it, but we will see that we've made a good amount of progress. That's something I'm hoping that we end up seeing from this moon, this full moon in Capricorn. So there's a lot of other things that are going on this month. In my inner circle, I put together an entire care package. I put it out at the beginning of the month. I call it the spiritual care package, where I go over everything for the month. I also give some wisdom for the month. Um, One of the energies actually that's speaking this month that I shared in the inner circle is the energy of Ma'at, the goddess Ma'at. And one of the things that I love about Ma'at is she says, hey, look at the big picture. Now, some of us are feeling like we can't see the big picture right now, but if we just leave ourselves open to receiving the big picture, what is the vision? Maybe it's about holding a vision and you haven't been able to see the vision, but now, because you're setting the intention, what is the vision for my life? What is the big picture for my life? It will come to you. Another thing is, and we talked about this before, you know, Ma'at is all about working with the laws of the universe, understanding what are the divine laws of the universe and living your life according to these laws of the universe. And so that's something else that is important for us to study. You want something to study, you want to know what you need to be working on. What I would encourage you to do is to work on knowing what the laws are and applying them day by day. The other key word I would give you all for this month will be discipline. Discipline yourself to apply these laws, whether you want to or not. Sometimes I remember hearing someone says, how you feel. Sometimes we can't let our feelings decide what we're actually going to do, especially if what our feelings are telling us to do is actually leading us in a direction that is not good. We can honor our feelings. I'm not saying disregard your feelings. Oh my goodness, I'm very emotionally sensitive. So I believe in honoring the feelings, and I also believe in saying, you know what, I'm not quite sure why I feel this way, but I know what I said I was going to do. I said I was going to live according to these divine laws, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And oftentimes when you live according to the divine laws of the universe, you end up realizing, oh man, this feels so good the way I'm living right now, that whatever that feeling was that was telling me not to do this, I can more easily disregard it next time because I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling so expanded. So that's what I will give to you all. But yes, I put together the spiritual care package every month. It goes out, like I said, at the top of the month. I share all of this. I also give weekly updates for the inner circle. So this is what I share with the community because, I don't want y'all to be in the dark. I don't want y'all to be in the dark. I want y'all to be in the know and in the flow. So I hope that this has been very helpful to you all. By the way, I haven't even been letting my banner go. As my dad would say, I forget to post this a lot of times. But goddessbodymindspirit.com. It's in the description box also. If you want to join, I would love to have you join the inner circle. What are the benefits of joining the inner circle? Well, you don't walk in the dark. My job is to make sure you know and you understand. You have so much more access to all of my teachings so that you are feeling, clarified and aligned and in community, because it is a community that, we have our ways of connecting. There's a special live stream that I put out also. So yeah, it's time for us to realize we don't have to walk around here lost. We don't have to walk around here confused and not knowing what to do. That having the goddess-centered lifestyle, having the wisdom to most of the time show you You already knew what was going on. This confirmation just helps you to embrace it and walk more confidently in your truth, to walk more confidently in who you are. And so I invite you to come and be a part of this experience month by month by month. It's so worth it. I'm telling y'all, it is so worth it. Thank you all so much for watching this video today. I hope that you have an amazing June. I would love to hear from you. What has gone down for you thus far this month? What is your game plan? How are you working with the energy in a conscious manner? And I hope that you can save this video somewhere and come back and answer the question by the end of the month. What change happened for you? What shift was created for you this month? Because I'm telling y'all, this is a month for a lot of, changes in the way we see the world. I did leave out Mercury retrograde, which we all know Mercury retrograde is happening. It ends on June 22nd. So hooray, hoorah. It's been not the worst Mercury retrograde for me, but man, it's just like been a lot of mistakes and fumbles. I'm just laughing at myself when they happen. But anywho, thank you so much for watching this video. I wish you an amazing June 2021. And you know what? I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Peace and